So I just recorded for 11 minutes and then I got up to open the door. And so I thought I was pausing this and then to let the dogs out, and I was wrong, and it stopped and then it uploaded and then it was only 11 minutes. So I'm just going to start over. And I don't know if you can tell, but we're not in my closet, we're on my couch because I didn't want to spend a half an hour getting angry at my computer. So I didn't do it. I am laying next to a dog with extreme gas because bulldogs are disgusting. And because he's allergic to chicken, he gets salmon food. And uh, salmon food is exactly what it sounds like. And if you know what your breath and your butt smells like, that's what his does too. So I don't know what I said before, but I briefly went over things going on today in politics. Trump withheld most of the tariffs for 90 days, which made the stock market take a big jump up, which tells you something. It tells you these are a bad thing. If over the past couple weeks, week and a half, maybe they lost over $6 trillion in the stock market because of these supposed tariffs, just implied tariffs. They hadn't even happened yet. It's a bad thing. And I get that because it is Donald Trump, someone's going to come out and say that this is okay. It's not. It's not. I need you to just pay attention to the actual economists and listen to what it's going to do and understand that it's really going to hurt small businesses. And I can't buy Nikes. Nikes are a big one. So my Nike collection has stalled because of tariffs. Yeah, 125% to China. Really don't like them, do we? I talked a little bit about how there's that poor little country in Africa that we're trying to throw a big tariff on because they export to us more than we import to them because it's blood diamonds and their people don't make a wage above $5 a day, so they're never going to shop from America. That one doesn't seem right, does it? Blood diamonds. I hate that currently we have deported a whole bunch of people who don't deserve it. That of the 238 men, I think it was 238 men we deported for Tren de Aragua, the supposed Venezuelan gang, Lord Brain, to El Salvador. Of those 238, 12 have violent crimes, rape, murder, I'm assuming assault. Of the 238, 75% are not criminals at all, no criminal history. I'm not saying they're not illegal. I'm just saying they have no criminal history. Uh, of that 25% that does have a criminal history, most are nonviolent, petty thefts, misdemeanor drug charges, trespassing. So 238 men have been imprisoned, and most of them have been imprisoned illegally because they're not criminals in El Salvador, not Venezuela. So, and some of them we deported very wrongly. That poor gay makeup artist, the father out of Maryland, and they aren't just going to get him back. I don't even think they want to try because I just don't think they want to admit they're wrong, which sucks. Because they shouldn't be in Venezuela. And because they are, grabbing up and disappearing, they are making people disappear and then saying they can't get them back. What makes you think they can't do it to you? Again, man, this should bother people. If none of the other stuff, if the firings, if the money, if the Ukraine, if Israel, if none of the things that this man has done in office bother you, this should bother you. And I saw something when they made Maryland a sanctuary state for immigrants. There's this Facebook group I'm in that's Mount Airy. It's Carroll County. And what I have said for years about Carroll County is Carroll County hates black people. But they don't just hate black people. No, they hate brown ones too. So basically, unless you're white in Carroll County, man, you are the wrong shade of melanin, which is you have some. So I saw a post about it becoming a sanctuary state, and these people on that were like, anybody who said that we should be, the response was, you like gang members murdering and the criminals and the rapes and let's have a talk. Because I do know that crime happens. I know it happens all over the United States. 3 misdemeanors. I am a criminal. Most of my friends are criminals. I know people that have sold drugs, trafficked drugs, sold guns, trafficked guns, prostituted, pimped. I definitely know people who have assault charges, who have beat women. Uh, I know thieves. I know drunk drivers. I know people with hit and runs. I know people with all sorts of crimes. Those people don't have them. Fun fact. But they're not white. So these people, you just want the criminals. We're not safe with these gang members. Where? Where? Because I am not afraid. And if you are, please stop watching the news all the time for the love of God. I keep up to date on what is going on. I am not afraid to leave my house. You are a baby. So there's that, but also Marco Rubio, when he went down to El Salvador, he talked to the president about the potential of them taking in American criminals into their prison system. So know this. Donald Trump has said multiple times he is okay with sending Americans to their prison. Multiple times. That man is okay with yoking up Americans and sending them out of the country to go to jail. So just this should be a problem. It should be a problem because it's wrong. Period. Full stop. We should get those people back. Full fucking stop. But also, what makes you think you're special and it won't happen to you? So, yeah, I think that's all I got on politics. I don't even know what I said before. So this one today, I have a friend. I went to college with her mother. She is 19. She is at Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. And she asked me to talk about college and the do's and don'ts. And I don't have any don'ts. So, mom, dad, any family member who knows me even a little bit and expects us not to be PG-13, you should stop listening now because it's not going to be PG-13. Definitely not PG. I don't even know R is strong enough sometimes. So I went to college. I went to Virginia Tech. I got accepted early. See, this is a part where I just did this. Now I'm going to have to retrace. So early acceptance I applied in the fall of 1998, I guess. And I applied early acceptance. And early acceptance at Virginia Tech was a binding contract. When I graduated high school, I graduated 3.4 and an 1130 on my SATs out of 1600. No AP credits. Your girl was not going to do that. Ugh. And I did take AP classes and I took GT classes. College didn't care. College cared about the grades, not the class. So, I got accepted early, binding contract. I went to college for a boy. I applied for my boyfriend. He wanted to go there because he wanted to be an engineer. I did not. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm 43. So I got to college when I was 17, and I didn't consider going to community college prior, and I should have. I've talked about this before. The way that I was raised, college was the next step after high school. And that was for everybody. I didn't know very many, if any, people that didn't go to college out of high school. We all did it. And I mean, Fairfax County was a great county. And I went to school on student loans. My parents did not pay for college. They did bail me out of some spots though, because I did not know money management when I was a kid. But I just, that's what we did. Northern Virginia, we went to college. The first time I really met someone who didn't go to college after high school, I'd moved to Frederick and I was like, ooh. So I got to college. I was 17. Part of why I was successful in high school is because I didn't really do much wrong. I drank a handful of times. I smoked weed once. I said this when I did this before. I'm going to say this again. That was when weed was weed. Weed was in a yard. It had stems. It had seeds. Everybody talked about it. You never got high the first time you smoked. Nobody. You can't touch the stuff they sell now without getting fucked up. So, I didn't do much wrong. I didn't sneak out. I didn't skip school. I left one lunch to go to McDonald's. I didn't pretend to be sick to stay home. I got mono my senior year right at the end. That messed me up. My senior beach week was in the Bahamas and Paradise Island. I could not drink. I got a liver infection from mono, and the doctor straight up said, "If you drink, you will die." Cool, maybe dramatic. I don't know. I didn't drink. But I did go to Paradise Island, and it was so pretty. So I just didn't like ADHD is rough because in order to be successful, I kind of need structure. But you can't tell me what to do or I book. And I book hard. So my friend, my best friend, she has two daughters. I may have mentioned this before. They train pigs for 4-H. And I want pigs to be soft as piglets. They're not. That hair is so coarse. Not a fan. I just want to pet them and cuddle them, and they're not soft. And that makes me angry. I want them to be like puppies. I digress. So, to train pigs, because they're so smart, you just got to tap them with a stick. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You just tap them, they go the direction you want. School for me when I was a kid was a stick. Not getting in trouble was a stick. I didn't want to be grounded. I hated being grounded. That kept me from doing things that were going to get me in trouble. I didn't like being spanked. You know, it was all just, it was a stick. It was a stick when I was a pig. And then when I got to college, there was no more stick. And when I was a kid, I never bucked. Yeah, or I didn't, I never like, I never fought like my ex-husband. He was an idiot in high school. He was an idiot. He got strung up the flagpole by his boxers. He danced on a cop car. He barely graduated Spanish. He skipped so many times. I mean, and he's brilliant. He's a scientist. By the way, Ebola, we need to pay attention to it. This is why we had to hire people back, because Doge, because Ebola. The man is a bioengineer pretty much, and he's handled Ebola. Keeping track of hemorrhagic diseases in other countries when there's airplanes and it is very easy to bring those diseases everywhere. Come on, this is common sense. So he got his stupid out when he was younger, and I didn't. So I got to college, and I just embraced the stupid, and I didn't mean to. But like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and ADHD hyperfocus is real. When I get stuck on something, you cannot unstick me. I have to work through it. Like I'm looking for a dog sitter. I asked the best friend if he would ask his son if his girlfriend was interested. He was like, yeah, I'll do it when I'll talk to him about it when he gets home. I was like, will you text him now? Because if you don't text him right now, I will think about this all day. I got a text last night from a buddy who said, hey, I've got a question for you. And then he didn't ask the question when he said he was going to. And then he was like, hey, I'll just hit you up tomorrow. I talked to my friend later than I thought. And I was like, cool, ask me the question now. Tell me what it is, because I'm going to think about this all night. I get stuck. And I didn't find a hyper focus in college. I didn't find my niche. Like I never knew. I didn't want to be a firefighter. I didn't want to be a cop. I didn't want to be an engineer because math is. I took C++. Ugh. I didn't want to be a nurse. At one point after Virginia Tech, I thought about becoming a nuclear medicine so I could do X-ray, like X-ray techs. But I didn't do well in my anatomy um, lecture. He was a tough teacher, so I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So there were classes here and there that I really liked, but unless I liked the class, I wasn't going to go. That's a regret. I should have gone to class. I said in a podcast before where I had all these dumb rules, like if I was going to be late, that was rude, so I didn't go. If I didn't do the homework, I was rude. I was late, I didn't go. If it was I fell in love with reading in college. I found the Harry Potter books and Ernest Hemingway, and I had read Ender's Game my sophomore year of high school by Orson Scott Card, and I really enjoyed that. And so once I figured out that there were things um, that I could read that would quiet down my brain, I fell in love with reading. And I wouldn't go to class if I wasn't up on the reading because I didn't want spoilers. I mean, come on. There was a class, I took History of China, and the professor was Chinese with a heavy accent. And I, if I'm tired, I fall asleep. And I was drinking or whatever. And like, I mean, not like I was later, but like, if I was tired, I fall asleep. So I was like, I'll fall asleep. That's rude. I didn't go. So I didn't do well in school. When I left Virginia Tech, I had 84 credits and no diploma. That is a regret. That is something I regret. I regret that I didn't have the wherewithal to just pull myself back a little bit and get the diploma. And it's not like it would have mattered. No. Every time my dog goes outside, Charlie Sheen, the beagle, she comes inside and she expects a treat. And what she does, stop it, is she taps the couch until I get up and I get her a treat because I am Pavlov's dog. So I don't know that having a diploma would have made a difference. I had no idea what I wanted to do. One of the girls I lived with my last year of college, she was a psych major. She graduated. She became a headhunter. But at the time when I went to college, they wanted to know that you were willing to complete something, and that was why you got the diploma. But stop it. I was an English major at the time that I dropped out and or got academically suspended and didn't go back, and I wasn't going to be a teacher. I had no plans to hang around with, bratty kids or any of that. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I don't know that it would have made a difference. But I should have finished. I walked away with like 60 grand in student loans and no diploma. That is a regret. Go to school. I mean, you're there, you pay for them. Go to the classes, learn the material. I'm not going to say that you'll retain much of it, but I mean, I think whenever I go share at the rehab, I tell the kids up there or the people up there, I'm always like, stay, listen, these people are smarter than you. They're not in rehab. And I haven't had very many teachers who have like struck an amazing chord in my life because, especially in high school, I really did that thing where I was there to get out of there. Right. And so I think if you went back to my high school and asked them if they remembered me, they'd probably say no. I never went to the principal's office. Nobody knew me. But those teachers, man, they know so much. It is such a gift. Knowledge is such a gift. I don't ever want to stop learning, which is ironic, right? Because I dropped out of college or got kicked out. But I don't ever want to stop learning. And the amount of available knowledge from all these teachers is just, it's a gift. And come on. And so go to class, read the books. You paid for them. They were super expensive. Learn. And I I don't know that I should have gone to college, but I'm never going to regret it because I said on one of these things how I think part of the reason why people in this country lack so much empathy is because they've kept their world so small. And I would not be the person I am today without college, without putting myself in a situation where, I mean, Virginia Tech is a big school, and I went from a high school of like 600 people to a campus of thousands. And you just very quickly are aware of how insignificant you can be. And I think that that is a very good thing. I think it's good to realize that you're insignificant. I think it's good to find people that you didn't know you could have found from areas you don't talk, like it's not like I traveled a ton before college. I went to some choir trips, which was cool, and vacations with my parents, but it's not like I had this wealth of friends from throughout the country. And I found some because of college. And my freshman year, I made friends with a group of guys that went to my high school, ironically, and they were great and they were what I needed. And I am friends with some of them on Facebook, but I don't talk to them uh, regularly or anything because sometimes people are friends for a reason, sometimes a season, and sometimes for life. And they were a season. And my second year of college, my sister joined a sorority, and my second year, I rushed. And you couldn't have told me I was going to be in a sorority, man. My sister rushed. I was like, you bought your friends. Ah. Threw so much shade. And then I went through the rushing process, and I met amazing women. And it felt like I found something that I was missing. And I did, because my mom always said I needed girlfriends, and girls are mean and they're catty and they're petty. And oh man, girls just, they hurt feelings. Like we are, God, the machetes we carry around to shove through your skin when we are mad, man. So I thought my mom was full of shit. And then I joined a sorority, and she was not. She was right. Having a woman to listen, and having a woman to talk to and to listen to and be listened by. And I mean, they understand you in a way men don't, because men are idiots. So that's another big thing for me in college was embracing female friends. And man, I had to stop thinking so small. Like, I hate it when people yuck my yum. I hate it. And I was a big yucker. Like, I just am that person, man. I know when you don't. I'm right and you're wrong. I am smart and you are stupid. And I have this idea, or I did for a very long time. My older sister and I, we don't get along very well. We're just different people. And she did say some nasty things to me for a very long time, which helped shape a lot of the insecurities inside of me because I let that happen. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I don't have to listen. Um, but hindsight's 2020, and I was not always kind either. And uh, I have my part to play in that just as much. So I joined a sorority and I loved it. I really did. I did end up dropping out, and that's because they tried to tell me what to do because my grades were bad, and it mattered. It mattered in the sorority that our grade point average was high enough. It mattered how much philanthropy you did. It mattered. And when they told me my grades were bad, I was like, "Well, you're not going to tell me." And they were bad. My grades were bad. I think I left there with 84 credits, and most of them were D's. I didn't get D's in high school. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to class. I didn't do the homework. I didn't pass the tests. I had finals one year, and I had to write two papers. They had to be a minimum. One had to be 8 pages, one had to be 7 pages. I wrote them within 12 hours back to back, sitting at my computer the day they were due. ADHD is beautiful. Um, so I do regret the way that I handled actual college. The thing that I was there for, I did not handle well. But I did have some really good times. Uh I found alcohol, and there's this thing in AA where people talk about that aha moment where they're like, I had a drink and my body was like, ah, there it is. I didn't have that, man. In college, I liked getting drunk, and I had fun, and I did stupid things. I met lots of boys, and God, I just did dumb stuff. Like one time I did 40 hands at an ATO party, and I didn't wear underwear under my skirt so I could pee because I had 240s taped to my hands. 240s is steel reserves. I don't care what you say about OE, steel reserve all day. And so I peed, and I mean, 40s, man. Oh, God, malt liquor. This was before. Little children now with your White Claws and your Trulies. Shut up. You don't know. It's like you don't know about real Four Loco. I blacked out at a Kiss concert. I tripped over a tree root because Four Loco is amazing. So I drank the 40s. I had to pee. I peed outside. I pulled my skirt back down, spun around in a circle, ran face first into a car. I mean, dumb stuff. I would flash the boys because I do and did have fantastic boobs. It was, let me take a picture, but can't put my face in it. I am so glad social media did not exist. Um, I did do sexual exploration, experimentation. I hooked up with a girl for the first time in college. I did it for a boy. Like, there are some things I wish I could undo. I wish I had gone to college. I wish I had had a tenth of the knowledge that I do now about who I am when I was younger. I just wanted I put so much value in the idea of a relationship, of being loved. And what's really nuts is I had all those feelings about wanting a relationship and being in love. And then I would tell men I was perfectly fine with just having sex and being a friend with benefits. And it's very entertaining. When you tell someone something, they'll believe you. So if you set yourself up to be the friend with benefits, you know what you're going to be? You're not going to be the girlfriend. You're just not. You're going to be the person they're okay with having sex with and then dating somebody else because that person isn't okay with being the friend with benefits. So, as much as I had fun, I did set myself up to have my feelings hurt a few times because I'm an idiot. Because I don't know, I thought I needed someone else to be me. Like, I spent so much of my life feeling like I had to have someone else to feel whole. That might be why I'm so ignorantly stuck on the fact that I don't now. But yeah, I did. I did that. I drove to Pigeon Forge with my roommate, her senior year, because I did not graduate, and I got a speeding ticket on the way. I went bungee jumping in Pigeon Forge. I loved her. Her name is Karen. She is not a Karen. She is wonderful. That year, that was the first year American Idol came out. I had no idea what we were watching, but I definitely watched Kelly Clarkson win. I'm pretty sure those girls. Virginia Tech football. I mean, fuck yourself. I know. Again, I talked about this dog fighting. It's horrible. I love dogs more than anything else in the world. I don't care about your children. I will have an abortion all day. I mean, I won't. They're fucking terrible, but you get what I'm saying. But leave the dogs alone. I know what Michael Vick facilitated. Uh, Virginia Tech football all day. Oh my God. You just don't know. You don't know about a Thursday night in Lane Stadium when your team is undefeated, beating Syracuse 62 to nothing. I mean, the cannon. Chef's motherfucking kiss. I've been to professional football games, and I love, you're welcome. I know you got opinions. I love the Dallas Cowboys. I have since I was a child, right? I love the Dallas Cowboys. There is nothing in the world like a college football game when it is your school. It is the most hyped up, electric thing you will ever be at. And you are just a child. And like the way the Hokies, the football team runs out and Enter Sandman is pumping, and everybody in that stadium is jumping faster and faster and faster and faster to the opening cadence. It is electric. You do not know until you know. The fact that I didn't die on those stadium steps thousands of times, being drunk on the way into the game, hungover on the way out of the game. Come on, man. Oh, I saw it the other day on Facebook, Virginia Tech. The bar that we went to in Greek life was top of the stairs. I went to a lot of bars. I think this is why I was never the alcoholic who drank at home as like a sad individual when I finally got sober, because my drinking was out. I was at frat parties. I was at house parties. I was at bars. The bars at Virginia Tech. Ooh, come on, hit me with it, right? Like Preston's doesn't exist anymore. It got bought by Sharky's, but Preston's, and you go there to dance, right? And then there was this bar, the library. It was downstairs. It was the only library I ever went to. You're not going to see me at the actual library. I'm pretty sure I don't know where it is, but the library. I kind of got naked for the owner. No, I didn't hook up with him. No, he didn't touch me. He just saw me naked. But I drank for free at that bar for the rest of college. Was it worth it? Yes. That's it. All I did was take off my clothes. I'd taken them off 1,000 times for nothing. Free drinks for the rest of my college career? Absolutely. And I got shots from my friends. I got a little fat on buttery nipples. Top of the stairs, right? The rail. The rail. I am pretty sure if I try to drink it now, I would die. Ugh, rail liquor. But they had these stairs, and I can't believe it, man. They made them so sturdy. It's like, did you even go to Virginia Tech if you didn't die on the top of the stairs? And the ones out to the back. Come on. And that was the first time that I realized that girls are disgusting and they don't pee sitting down. And they don't clean their pee after they don't pee sitting down. I'm not mad at you for not sitting on the seat. Just wipe it up. The Hokie House, Wednesday nights, comedy night. Come on. Come at me, bro. Boudreaux's, right? There was this Cajun restaurant, Boudreaux's, and they had an oyster po' boy, and they had the best Cajun mayo I've ever had in my life. I dream about that sandwich. I've Googled that sandwich. I loved college. I loved college. The New River, right? Going and hanging out at the New River. There was one year after my boys graduate, I floated. I had groups of friends. But I went with them to a cabin and we did mushrooms in the lake. And I didn't think the mushrooms did anything until we got out of the lake and I was on dry land and I knew what those mushrooms had done. I did mushrooms one night with two of my buddies, Simon and Jimmy. And we walked around their apartment complex, and no bullshit, right? It was like, it had to have been either a really weird night, probably with one of those red moons that nobody talked about because social media wasn't a thing yet. We only had Facebook Messenger, right? But like, I don't think it was sunup, but we did mushrooms and the sky was red. We walked around talking about how um it looked like Mordor from Lord of the Rings, right? Oh God, my nerd game. Playing beer die with ATO. I mean, I hate that most of my please do's, it's going to be about experiencing the people and the drinking, and you don't have to have all the sex because I mean you don't gotta. You could love yourself more. Uh I going to Roanoke. I got in dumb fights with my friends that I had no business having because you're still so young. I don't even know if you realize it, right? I went to college at 17. I did not graduate, but I left and I was 22, and you're just so young. Your frontal lobe hasn't formed yet, and you still feel so many big feelings in such a young body, and you don't know what they are, and so insecure, trying to figure out your future, trying to figure out how to navigate anything, trying to figure out what you want or who you want to be or what you want out of life. If you want to get married, oh God, I can't imagine going to one of those Southern schools where they're looking for a husband. I mean, I got a job my last year there at this little diner. It was called Joe's Diner. It was in downtown on Main Street. And um, I always went to work. I didn't go to class. I saw Kill Bill in the theater there in Christiansburg because our We called it the Carpet Mall because it was a one level mall in Christiansburg and it had carpet in it and it was so sad and small. And like I grew up in Northern Virginia, right? So I had like Dell's Town Center, Tyson's 2 Galleria, we had Fair Oaks, like we had all the amazing huge malls, and we had the sad little one level carpet mall in Christiansburg, but that was the movie theater. God, the bowling at the student I don't know what it is, the student thing, right? Where uh there was a Sbarro. You know, there was one dining hall that had Chick-fil-A. I love their waffle fries. That was before I hadn't eaten them for 15 years because they give money to gay away camps. Chick-fil-A is bad. I can't boycott things for sure. I just Chick-fil-A. You know what I boycott every day without burning anything? Tesla. I just don't buy a Tesla. It's amazing. You cannot do something without lighting it on fire because I definitely wanted to light Chick-fil-A on fire. The dining halls, the food at Virginia Tech was wildly good. It really was, especially the dining hall that was connected to the athletes' dorms. They got dope food, right? Like they had London broil. It was the first time I had London broil. Oh God, the food and the campus. I've never seen a campus as beautiful because they have Hokie Stone, and it. I lived in the dorms for 2 years, a year and a half, and then my friends, my sorority sisters, they were in my pledge class. Monica and Jacqueline, they came and they helped me move out, and I moved into the sorority house right after we pledged. Monica carried my mini fridge all the way down the stairs. We called her Manica. She had this, I don't even know what kind of car it was. It might have been a tracker, but we called it the envelope because it looked so like an envelope. She's got 3 daughters and they look just like her. And I love that sorority house. We had a prank war with the frat house right next to us. I'm pretty sure we're the reason they got kicked off campus. They let fireworks off underneath our door. It was wild. I forgot about all this stuff. God, I loved college. I really did. I mean, but I didn't go to class. I didn't. If I was hungover, I slept in. 9/11 happened when I was at college. I was living with Monica. It was um my third year, and I woke up and I chose to skip class because I always chose to skip class. But then the TV got weird, and then they started showing the 9/11 stuff. And I remember my dad worked for DoD, and I didn't know that he worked at the Pentagon, but I didn't know that he didn't. So I tried to call. My phones were all messed up because everybody was calling everybody. And Monica came home and we just sat. We just sat in our room. I watched the second tower fall live because they were talking about the first one. And um, there was this video. It was like VH1, and it was like newscasters. And in the background was the first tower falling. It was actively falling, and then you heard one of them go "fuck," and that was when the second plane hit the second tower. That day was wild. It was like the world stood still. I cried. The next Virginia Tech football game, when they sang the national anthem, I cried. I'm not saying we could use a national tragedy, but maybe we could use a national tragedy. Not a pandemic. We handled that terribly. Nobody needs that, but maybe we need a unifier. God, all day we just sat in that room, and then we went and we got Chick-fil-A. How about that? We got nuggies. I loved college. There are I really did. I learned who I was. I had made myself really small in high school. I believed the things that were said to me that were mean. I believed that I was nothing and that nobody cared and no one was ever going to love me and that nobody saw me. I believed that. And then I got to college, and I found people who liked me. It was very strange. I got bad haircuts in college too. I just got to say, little like terrible haircuts. But I found people that liked me. Like they really did. They just liked me. And I got the nickname Flabby. My nickname in high school was Cabby because my initials were KAB. And then my friend Jacqueline started calling me Flabby. We did karaoke, right? We did karaoke for Alpha Feast Philanthropy. Lil Bow Wow, what's my name? That was what we sang. It was me, my friend Jack, and my sister Alex. I was Lil Bow Wow. My friend Jacqueline, I think was supposed to be Snoop, and my sister was JD, Jermaine Dupri, right? I still have that song memorized. I basically ended up rapping the whole thing. I looked like an idiot. I should have won. Cheaters. Uh, I did. I came into a personality I didn't know I had when I was at college. I wouldn't be me without Virginia Tech. I wouldn't be me without going to football games and listening to those screaming dildos. It's because we're the fighting, we're the Hokies, we're the fighting gobblers, which it's a fictional castrated turkey, but they have these things that go and they're black and they're rubbery and they're weird shaped. I called them the screaming dildos and oh god, turkey legs, right? My freshman year, this guy made a cardboard. He's probably an engineer. He made this cardboard hokey, and then for every team we played, he would destroy their mascot. So, like when we played Miami, he ripped the U, the cane apart. I still hate Florida State. I'll forever hate Florida State for beating us in the Sugar Bowl that year because Michael Vick hurt his ankle down in New Orleans. My advice for college really is: it's go to school first and foremost. Go to school, get your degree, whatever it is. If it's not one of those majors that's super, super, super hard, like if you're not bio for pre-med or pre-law or something where it's really, really going to matter, then don't take yourself too seriously, man. Pass the classes, get good grades, graduate, figure out what you want to do and get the job you want to do. But while you're there, say yes. Say yes. Say yes to the dumb shit. Say yes to the hard shit. Say yes to throwing a frisbee around on the drill field for no reason, walking the windy tunnel, playing in the snow. Say yes to the party. Say yes to the night out. Say yes. It's so fast. It's so fleeting. It seems like you're there forever. It is the shortest amount of time in your life. You will look back and college will have been this blip. And say yes to the apartment. Say yes to the roommates. Say yes to having a night once a month where somebody cooks an outrageous meal for no reason. Say yes to random road trips that are only a short distance away. Say yes. Just say yes. College, I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started doing this. College was the best. It really was. It shaped everything. And again, I don't know if I'd graduated if I would be doing anything different. I do have an associate's in general studies and one in psychiatry and for psychology. And I still don't know what I want to do. But I know that if I could go back, I'd spend less time worrying about a boyfriend or finding a man or wanting a man or any of that. Although sex toys are a lot better now than they were back then. So that's an edge too. But say yes. I sometimes I just get lazy because I get lazy. Say yes. Say yes to everything. Say yes to every moment. Say yes to every friend that asks you to do something. Say yes. Say yes to the free stuff. Say yes to the stuff that costs money. Say yes. It's I was there for 5 years. It was 4 years, like semester wise total. And I don't know if I would do it at this era. I like that there wasn't social media. I like that I could say, yes, you can take a picture of my tits, but no, my face can't be in it. I like that um, we didn't have phones that you could take videos of things that you did, right? Like there's no physical evidence of when I did acid. And that was wild. There are some things that you should not do on acid. I did them. The first time I did ecstasy was at college and I loved it, but there did not need to be video evidence and stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff I'm glad that we did not have access to. I am sad that I don't have as many pictures as I should, that I try to rely on a memory that does in fact have holes in it because of blackouts. One of my favorite people in the world, she died when she was 25 and I wish that I had more pictures of her because she was the best. We had this conversation in a car one night, and a different friend of ours was talking about a guy she hooked up with and how he went down on her. And the girl Jill was like, the entire time all you're thinking is don't pee, don't fart, don't pee, don't fart, don't pee, don't fart. Like she was the first person I